So the film begins in 1964. Inside an antique shop, we see Lorraine and her husband Ed, who were called there by a girl because her dad said there were some evil powers in the shop. The girl didn't believe it. But then one day, for no reason, her dad took his own life by hanging himself. And from that day on, the evil powers started scaring the girl. That's why this girl had called Lorraine here. Lorraine went inside, saw a mirror, and sensed that it contained a scared soul along with some evil energies. Lorraine touched this mirror and started seeing strange visions in it, as if those evil powers wanted to get to pregnant Lorraine's baby. She got scared. Suddenly, a storm and rain started outside. Lorraine also started having stomach pains at this time and was admitted to the hospital in this condition, where Lorraine gives birth to a daughter, but she was stillborn. As soon as this baby was born, many paranormal, or scary, things happened in the hospital, like the lights flickering and turning off, and things breaking with a strong storm, which scared the doctors as well. And at this moment, Lorraine sensed the same evil energy that was inside the mirror. This meant that whatever was happening here was being done by that same evil energy. At this point, Lorraine cries and prays to God to save her daughter. And surprisingly, a minute later, the baby came back to life. Now, given the condition in which this child was born, it was not possible for her to be a normal person. From childhood, just like her mom, she started seeing evil things that also scared her. Lorraine, who wanted to keep her daughter's life normal, explained to her that these things were nothing more than an illusion and taught her some magical spells that would keep those things away from Judy. Since Judy's birth, Lorraine had not looked into that mirror case because its evil energy wanted to harm Lorraine's daughter, and Lorraine wanted to keep her as far away as possible. Although Lorraine and Ed themselves had solved thousands of paranormal cases throughout their lives, they had always kept Judy away from it. Anyway, about 22 years pass in the movie. We see John's family, which consisted of 9 people, and they had just moved into a new house that day. John brings an antique mirror as a gift for his daughter, which was the same evil mirror we saw at the beginning of the movie. As soon as it arrived, the evil energy of this mirror started to show itself. When they are preparing to cut the cake together, the candle suddenly blows out on its own. And right at that moment, their ceiling breaks and falls on them, which injures John's daughter quite badly. At this point, the scene cuts, and we are told that this is all based on a true story, and that this was the most dangerous paranormal case in Lorraine and Ed's lives, which also had a lifelong impact on them. Anyway, the movie resumes. We see Lorraine home, dining with her family. Then she sees the hand of an evil energy on her daughter Judy's shoulder, which Judy herself could also see. Lorraine signals her to relax and gestures for her to say the same spell they used to drive away the evil energy, and she herself starts reciting it too. With that, the hand disappears. But for the first time today, Lorraine was scared of all these things because she had sensed that it was the same powerful energy that had appeared before her when Judy was born. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown the same house again where the mirror had been taken. Here, a doll starts making noises and flying in the air, and all this happens in front of John's daughter's eyes. In this same house, we also see Janet. It was John's son's wife. While doing laundry, she also feels someone's presence behind her. After this, we see Janet in the kitchen. She was talking to someone on the phone when someone from behind starts pulling her phone line. She thought the children might be doing it, but there were no children there. And after realizing this, Janet got very scared. It is shown that John's daughter, who had seen the doll floating in the air, also sees an old ghost behind that same doll. The girl was so scared that when John, her dad, and her brother came home at night, she told them all about it. No one believed her. But Janet was becoming convinced that there was definitely something wrong with this house because strange things had been happening to her since the morning. Meanwhile, we see that Heather, on whom the ceiling had fallen earlier, tells her sister, "I don't like the mirror, especially the faces carved on it. They scare me a lot hearing this." Although her sister teases her, She then helps Heather, and they pick up the mirror to throw it out of the house. In the morning, it is shown that the municipal workers were taking the mirror, and as soon as the mirror falls inside the municipal truck, it breaks. And as it breaks, on the other side, John's daughter starts vomiting blood, and the broken pieces of the mirror that had shattered in the truck start coming out of her mouth. Seeing the girl's condition, they took her to the doctor, but now everyone was convinced that there was definitely something wrong with this house. The scene cuts, and we see Ed, Lorraine's husband, at the doctor's office. The doctor tells him that his heart condition is not good anymore and his heart won't be able to withstand another heart attack. Therefore, he must take very good care of himself now and will have to stop doing what he does. After all this, Ed comes home, and his daughter Judy tells him that she had also invited a friend to her birthday party whom she wants to marry. Now, on her birthday the next day, we see Judy with her friend Tony. During this party, Ed takes all the guests to show them his museum, where they had trapped evil energy inside the artifacts. In simple terms, just as a genie is trapped inside a bottle, they had trapped the evil energy in these paintings. All the guests go with Ed to see his museum, but Tony doesn't go because he was very scared. He goes to Judy's room with her, and as soon as Judy enters the room, she sees the Annabelle doll on her rocking chair, which she had always been very afraid of. This time, because Tony was with her, she quickly gained control over herself and snapped out of Annabelle's influence. Just then, Lorraine arrives and tells Tony that Ed is waiting for him in the playroom. After that, she asks Judy what's been going on with her lately and why she has become so scared. Judy tells her, "Mom, I don't know why this is happening." Then Lorraine tells her, "I know you are a medium. You can sense such things, but remember one thing. Never get involved in these matters because my life has also been ruined because of them." Anyway, after a while, Tony talks to Lorraine about Judy and their wedding, and he also proposes to Judy right there. During this time, we see that the father from the church had also come to talk to Lorraine and Ed about a family that was in a lot of trouble. And they were actually talking about John's family, in whose house very scary things were happening these days. They request Lorraine and Ed to help that family. Ed agrees, but Lorraine refuses because she only wanted to focus on her daughter's wedding at the moment. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown the same house where everyone is very worried. When John and his son came home, they also looked very worried. John's daughter, from whose mouth glass had come out, was so scared that she started fighting with John, demanding that they all be taken out of this house and moved to a hotel. But John and his son didn't have enough money for everyone to stay in a hotel. They had no choice but to stay in this house, so they all go to sleep. As midnight passes, John's son's health starts to deteriorate. We see him levitating above the bed in the middle of the night. He was suspended in the air, and an evil energy began to choke him, which caused his health to deteriorate severely. In the morning, we see John's daughter, on whom the ceiling had broken and fallen on the very first day. She was watching the video of that day and suddenly got scared because she saw an entity standing with her in the video that had blown out the candles at that time. Now, because this girl had also seen the entity in the video, that entity suddenly appears in front of her as well. It was a tall man with long hair, and he angrily moved towards her with an axe to kill her. At this, the girl screams loudly, and her screaming wakes up everyone in the house. Because such a scary incident had happened to two people in the house at the same time, everyone was terrified. That's why, as soon as morning came, Janet and her husband Jack called the media and presented their problems to them. Their story soon becomes famous about how an evil energy is tormenting a family. It is shown that Lorraine had come to a boutique at this time to get Judy's wedding dress. The designer was Lorraine's friend. She was also listening to Janet's interview on the news channel at the same time. But when Lorraine arrived, she turned off the news channel because she didn't want to lose a customer. While Judy was in the changing room to check her dress, someone knocks on her changing room door. Judy thought it would be her mom. As soon as she opened the door, she saw that it was the ghost of the same old lady we had seen before at Janet's house. This ghost immediately grabbed Judy's throat, and Judy was about to die. But then Judy started chanting her magical spells, which made the ghost disappear from there. Judy breathed a sigh of relief, and as soon as she looked in the mirror, she got even more scared because she saw that Judy's shadow in the mirror was choking Judy. Now Lorraine, who had come inside to check Judy's dress, also sees all this and gets scared. Now, we are shown the same family again, where John's wife had now become very ill. She was having a heart attack. Her condition deteriorates so much that she is rushed to the hospital. And in that moment, we are shown that Lorraine's very close friend, the father from the church, had come here to help their family without informing the church. They go to the basement and, while chanting some spells to drive away the evil energy, as soon as they pour holy water into the basement, all the holy water evaporates instantly. The water had evaporated into steam at this time, and the father had seen something in this steam, which had also frightened him. Promising this family that he would return, he immediately goes to meet Ed. At this time, Ed's family was not at home, so he decided to sit and wait. He had just sat down when his nose started to bleed, and the phone here also began to ring. When he picked up the phone, a scary voice on the other end told him, "Your work is done, and you can leave now." As soon as this is said, the call ends, and suddenly the doors and lights of this room also shut off. The entire room goes dark, and we see that the knobs of this room were also inverted. The knob that previously had a holy cross on it was now completely upside down, which was a sign that an evil energy had taken over here. The father had seen this very demon entering. He picks up a crucifix to protect himself from it, but his crucifix also catches fire. Because the crucifix burned, the father panicked and got scared for a moment. His panic was all it took for that evil energy to possess him, and he kills himself by strangling himself with a wire present there. Lorraine and Ed were also very sad and shocked by his death. When Judy touches the father's grave at his funeral, she has a strange vision. She questions the people at the church at this time, asking where the father had gone before he died. So the people from the church tell her about John's family. In the next scene, we are shown Lorraine at home. While she was washing the dishes, she had a strange, scary vision. She saw that Judy's locket had fallen into the water, and instead of her picture, there was blood in her locket, and then suddenly the whole kitchen filled with blood. Lorraine was very frightened by this vision, and Ed comforted her. Lorraine was terrified because she knew the meaning of her vision, that her daughter Judy's life was now in danger. At this time, Judy's fiancé comes here and tells them both that Judy has gone to John's house, where there are evil energies. Lorraine tells Ed that we won't take any case. We'll just bring Judy back from there. But when they got there, they saw that Jack and Janet were already waiting for them. They are very happy about their arrival and say that finally, an expert has come to help them. They explain that they went to the media for help, but people started making strange stories about them, as if they were just putting on a drama. Despite hearing all this, Lorraine wanted to leave from here. She wanted to stick to her decision. But Judy stops her and says, "You've helped thousands of people, so why aren't you helping this family now?" Father's death secrets in their house. Help them. Thus, Lorraine and Ed agree to help them. Ed now gets the things he needs here and, turning on his recorder, starts interviewing the family about what exactly had happened to them. Lorraine tries to feel something by touching things here, and Judy takes all the children to a room so they don't get scared by all this. While checking this house, Lorraine goes upstairs, and upstairs she sees a doll behind Judy. She had felt that the doll was moving, but before she could take it, a little girl came and picked up the doll and took it away. And now Lorraine goes inside a room where she feels a hand moving under a sheet. And she understands that the evil energy must be somewhere around here. As she was coming downstairs, we saw 3 strange holes in the door through which one could see to the other side. And seeing these holes, Lorraine understands the whole story and goes and tells Ed that there are actually 3 souls inside this house. A lady, her daughter, and her husband. Lorraine tells Ed that the husband who lived in this house was very cruel. He used to oppress his wife, and it was his wife who also earned the money. Trying to escape all these things, the man's wife befriends someone else. And as soon as the man finds out, he angrily takes an axe and brutally kills his wife and daughter. After which he had taken his own life as well. This man with long hair was the same ghost we had seen before in front of John's daughter. Hearing this, Ed says, "These are just simple souls. There's nothing to be afraid of. We brought so many souls to their end before and contained so many, so this won't be difficult for us." Then Lorraine says the story isn't that simple. These 3 ghosts are just working like puppets here. And there is some other powerful evil energy here making them do evil or twisted things. Lorraine says that she can't see it, and that's the most difficult and worrying part. Ed asks her that if there is an evil energy here, it's worth thinking about why it hasn't possessed anyone in this house. Ed says, "Look, in all the cases we've solved before, the evil energy had possessed someone. What's so new about this case that it hasn't possessed anyone?" The scene cuts, and we are shown that Judy was hearing her mom's voice from upstairs. Following the voice, she also came up to the attic, where we were shown the same mirror from the start of the movie that had the evil energy inside. And from Lorraine's vision at the start of the movie, we also learned that the evil energy wants Lorraine's daughter, Judy. And finally, the mystery starts to get solved, and it becomes clear why the evil energy hadn't possessed any of them. It just wanted to scare and threaten them to bring Lorraine and Judy here so it could meet Judy. Here, Judy touches that mirror, and as soon as she touches it, a strange commotion erupts in the room. "Miss Me" is written here with a piece of chalk. The Annabelle doll always used to write "Miss Me." And the "Miss Me" from the Annabelle doll was written here because Judy was very afraid of the Annabelle doll. And this evil energy had taken advantage of Judy's fear. When Judy, scared, went into another room, the Annabelle doll lying there suddenly became very large. Judy, scared again, was about to leave that room and come downstairs when someone pushed her down the stairs. Hearing Judy fall, everyone rushes in, and Judy tells Lorraine, "Mom, there's something upstairs in the attic." As soon as Lorraine comes upstairs, she gets very scared seeing that mirror because the thing she had been running from and protecting her daughter from her whole life had now come after them. As soon as she touches this mirror, she gets even more scared because this mirror was giving her an even more dangerous feeling than before. Finally, they tell everyone the story of this mirror, that they found this mirror at the very beginning of their career. The visions Lorraine had that day had terrified her, and because her daughter had also escaped the jaws of death, they had become afraid of this mirror and had never solved the case. They had never tried to find out what happened to the girl who had called them for help. Because the real evil was in that mirror, they decide to take it to their museum at home, where they have kept many such things before. They start preparing to take the mirror out of here, while on the other hand, the dog also starts barking a lot. They had tied a sheet over the mirror and also put several belts on it so that the sheet wouldn't come off the mirror and they wouldn't be able to look in it. They managed to lift the mirror, but suddenly it becomes very heavy. Ed knew that the devil was doing all this because it didn't want the mirror to be taken out of the house. Here, Tony, whose job was to start the car, couldn't start it. Meanwhile, Judy's health kept worsening over there too. Meanwhile, it is shown here that the belts on the mirror start to come loose, and suddenly the cloth over it is removed, and Jack looks inside it. As soon as he looks in the mirror, the evil energy overpowers him and throws him onto the stairs. Ed alone cannot handle the mirror, and it falls down. Here, It is shown that Tony had somehow managed to start the car and bring it in front of their house when the ghost of that same old lady appeared in front of his car, and he narrowly avoided an accident. Hearing all the noise, Lorraine came outside and also felt something strange. She immediately went to check on Judy. As soon as Lorraine arrives, the evil presence says, "Come, Lorraine, come. We've been waiting for you and Judy. Judy is ours, and we will take Judy." Before Lorraine could do anything, Judy, in a frenzy, gets up and pushes Lorraine, and Lorraine falls into the basement. From all this, Lauren had fainted. The dog barked wildly, so Judy lifted it into the air and hurled it away. In the meantime, Ed also arrives, and seeing Judy's condition, he tries to help her and explains, "Judy, come to your senses. You have enough strength within you to fight this evil." Here, Judy doesn't regain consciousness. Instead, the evil attacks Ed as well and somehow twists his heart, causing Ed's condition to worsen, and he has another heart attack. When he was trying to take his medicine, it also fell out of his pocket. Tony, who wanted to get inside the house from outside, found that all the doors of the house were locked, and now he chooses the basement path to get inside, where we also see Lorraine before, and with her, the same ghost with the axe who was about to kill her, but Tony came at the right time and saved her. And at this time, we were also shown the ghost wife of that ghost, who had helped Tony get into the house by opening the basement door. Now Tony helps Lorraine and takes her upstairs, where we see that Ed had also gotten his medicine and taken it, and his condition had also improved. They were all now ready to fight that evil entity. They knew that this evil entity was only after Judy. Ed and Lorraine send the entire family living here out of the house and now start the mission to save their daughter, Judy. It is shown that the evil entity had Judy suspended in the air. As soon as they arrive, the entity throws Judy down, and she stops breathing. They give Judy CPR, and just then, Ed's condition also starts to worsen. At this moment, Lorraine sees the evil entity's hand on her shoulder, but she doesn't panic. Instead, she starts chanting some spells, which causes the evil's possession of Judy and Ed to end for a while. The evil entity had let go of these two, but now it had caught Tony. Here, that mirror suddenly rises and starts moving rapidly around the room and falls on Tony. Seeing all this, Ed quickly starts the exorcism and picks up his Bible and starts reading it. Seeing the exorcism happening, the evil entity gets so angry that it sets fire to Ed's Bible, and Ed's hand starts to burn. It had even silenced Ed with its power. But Ed didn't give up so easily. He brought himself back to his senses and started reading the Bible verses again. Gathering courage, Ed now places that same Bible on the mirror, which caused the evil entity to writhe in even more pain. To save itself from this pain, it wanted to get them all out of this room, but everyone stood their ground. Judy and Lorraine both understood that their magical spell would not work now. Now they have to show their inner strength. That's why they both place their hands on the mirror along with the Bible and start reading something. This way, the evil gets trapped inside that same mirror and their lives become normal. This is how the lives of Judy, Lorraine, and John's entire family are saved from that evil entity. At the end of the movie, we are shown Tony and Judy's wedding. Sometime after this, Lorraine tells Ed that she has seen visions of their future where they have become grandparents and their life has become completely easy. They are also giving interviews about their cases, and now everyone will believe their stories. According to Lorraine's vision, this is what really happened. Years later, people started to believe their stories. We were also shown footage of many of their cases. And with that, the movie ended here.